Hello students, welcome to June 23rd lesson on slope of a linear equation. All right, so before we get started, this is our notes today, okay? Go ahead and you can pause, rewind, and do all the good stuff, all right? So go ahead, let's write, this is the equation of a line, all right? So this y is equal to mx plus b. X and y is part of a point on the line. The letter M is a number that represent the slope, and the B represent the y-intercept. All right. If you're wondering what is a slope, it just means how steep is a line, how steep is a graph. For example, let's just say a graph looks like this. Okay. So if you were to walk on it, so this is you. If you were to walk on this, okay, you're gonna notice how steep it is. All right, so when they ask you how steep a slope is, you don't just say, oh, it's a really steep slope. They actually want the exact number. Okay, and anytime when you go up a hill, it's actually a positive slope. All right, unlike if you go down a hill. Okay, remember, you always read a graph from left to right. All right, so this is going down. As you see, the arrow is going down. This is a negative slope. Okay, now, if you, again, you're reading from left to right, and if you're walking on a graph that is a straight line, okay, that's a zero slope, all right? So today we're gonna calculate slope. We can actually find the exact number. Like if someone asks for your age, you don't say, oh, I'm young. You say, hey, this is my actual age. So when they ask you for a slope, they actually want an actual number, okay? So we are going to find slope by doing something called rise over run. Rise just means the change of y, okay? Y is just going up or down. So to find a slope of something, you want to measure. By the way, you always need 2 points to find a slope. Okay, and as you're going from this point to that point, you always want to find out what the y is first. So this is your change in y. Okay, and then you want to find a change in x. So what's changing for x? So you're going from here to here. You have to find out how high you go or how low you go. That's called a rise. Okay, so the change in here to here and the change of x from here to here. That will give you the slope of a line. So the same thing for this one. You're going from here to here. Again, this one you're gonna go down. So this is your change in y and your change in, your change in x. All right, that's what we're gonna learn today. So take out your notes, get ready, pause or rewind or whatever you need, okay? So how steep a slope is, how much is going up or going down by, that's called slope. Okay. All right. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the 3 different types of slope that you can find. Okay. So the first one is in an equation. Okay. So when you see an equation like this, okay, they can ask you the slope and the y-intercept. We're gonna use again the y is equal to mx plus b. Y is equal to mx plus b. So the number that's in front of x is your slope, and there it is right there. Okay, so for this one, your slope, let's just use the letter M for slope, is a -2/3. Now they can flip-flop this one, the x can come here, so it doesn't matter. The number that's in front of x, after you solve for y, the number in front of x is your slope, and the other number is your y-intercept. Now if there's no other number, then your y-intercept would just be 0. If there is no x, your slope would be 0. All right, so again, if there's no x, then your slope would be 0. Okay, all right, let's move on to the slope. Now, if there's a table, okay, you want to find your change. You want to know what's changing for the x and for the y. Okay, so again, your change in y, because remember, oh, by the way, y always comes first, so your change in y comes first, and then your change in x. Okay, so you're changing from y. You're going from 4 to 2, you're actually going down, okay? You have $4 to $2, that gives you -2. And this one, you're going from -3 to 0, that means you owe 3 and then you have 0. That's good, you gain 3. So the slope is -2/3. All right, by the way, this equation and the table and the graph, they're all the same. Okay, they all represent the same equation. It's just that one is in an equation form, table form, and a graph form. All right, again, you're changing, you're going from, now, to find a y-intercept, you just have to find where y is 0, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, wherever x is 0, so that's your y-intercept right here. My bad. All right, so your y-intercept, if you're able to find it, oh, it's 2. That means it starts at 2, okay, so 2. So again, x is 0, y-intercept is 2. All right, let's move on to the graph. Now again, when you interpret a graph, when you look at a graph, you have to look at it from left to right. All right, so from the left side of the graph, that's where you are, and then it looks like it's going down. So I know that my graph is negative. All right, so I know that my graph is negative. So my slope, I know it's gonna be a negative, okay? Now you pick any 2 points. You could pick this one and this one, or it doesn't matter. I always like to pick the y-intercept. So my y-intercept, that one is already 2. All right, and then it looks like, again, I would pick this one. It doesn't matter, you can pick that one. All right, so I'll just pick these two, okay? And you're going from left to right, so you're going from here to here, okay? So it looks like I'm gonna go down 2. We already have a negative. You're gonna go down 2, and then, so 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Now, students always like to count the first ones. They go 1, 2, 3, which is incorrect. You're doing steps. When you're taking step, you don't take that step right there. That doesn't make any sense. You're already there. So it looks like it's going to go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then there you go. They're all the same answer. All right? Okay. Now, remember, the slope is just how steep something is, or, usually it means something else, like it's going up by for how many reasons and stuff like that. All right? Okay, so now let's do problems that's going to be on your assignment, okay? Now, for your first assignment, later on when you see that, they can ask you to find a slope and a y-intercept of an equation, okay? So this is our equation here, all right? Again, remember guys, it's the change, oops, sorry, not this one. This one here, you want to find out you want to make sure it looks like y is equal to mx plus b, all right? Or something like that, okay? Then you can find your slope, and then you know what your y-intercept is, okay? So for this one, I'm gonna put a 1 here. So therefore I know, oh, okay, my slope is -1. So my slope is equal to -1, and then my y-intercept is equal to, nothing there is 0, okay? That means you start at 0, and then you go down 1 to the right 1, okay? All right, so next one. Now this one, you can see the mx is on this side and the b is on this side. That's okay, you don't need to do anything. You just write down the answer. So my slope is gonna be -2/3. And then my y-intercept, it will be a +6. All right, let's move on to number 3. Now for number 3, there is no x, so my slope is 0. That means it's a nice flat line graph. All right. And my y-intercept and its start on a flat line is at 2. Okay, so it's at 2 and there's a nice flat line on a 2. All right, number 4. Now for this one's a little bit different because it doesn't look like that. Okay, I move this up a little bit. Okay, it doesn't look like that, so therefore you want to solve to make it look like that. So I'm going to add 6 first to move it to the other side. That one cancel. 2y is equal to, you want to write your x first. Now you don't have to. I do that just because I want to make it look a little bit easier. Again, you don't have to. All right, I'm going to divide 2 by everything. There are more than 2 terms there. More than 1 term, I'm sorry. So divide by 2. Yeah, I'm going to cancel. Y is equal to 5/2 x plus 3. There you go, my slope. Or you could write m if you want. It's easier that way. 5/2 and my y-intercept. 3. All right, let's do number 5. Now for number 5, again, I want to solve for y, but y is on the right side. So it's actually okay to have y on this side, as long as there's nothing there, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solve for y. I'm just going to divide by 3. So that one's actually fairly easy. Oops. That one cancel. Now when I rewrite it, I could just rewrite it y equal to, but you don't really have to. I like to write my x first anyway, so -5/3x. Okay, I'm rewriting this. You could have a fraction as your answer. It doesn't really matter for this one. You're not really graphing anything. Again, if you want to write y this side, y equal to, that's fine too. That's the same thing. Okay, so -5/3 is my slope, and then my y-intercept is 11/3. All right, we're done with lesson example 1. Let's go ahead and move on to our example 2. Now for this one, they gave you a bunch of graphs. You have to find the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so there's 4 graphs here. Okay, let's focus on the first one. This one here, number 1. All right. Now, if you want to write the y-intercept first, you can. That's what I like to do. I'll move this over a little bit. Okay, so my y-intercept for this one, you can see you follow this line and the y, whatever hits that line right there, that is a 3. Okay, now to find your slope, you're gonna use the same thing, change in y and a change in x. Okay, so I'm gonna use a pen so you can see it better. So this is my first point right here. You wanna find another one. There's a bunch. There's one right here also, and then there's another one over here and another one over here. Make sure when you pick a point, it's at the corner, so when you count, it's a nice easy whole number. Okay, you don't wanna pick it right here and then it's like, what is that, 1? How much is it going up by? It's a little bit trickier to look at. All right, excuse me. So now let's go ahead and do a change of y. That means that looks like, again, you want to look from left to right. So on my left side, I'm going to go from here to here. Looks like it's going up. Okay, so I know it's positive. So my slope, I know it's positive. Looks like it's going to go up 1, 2. It's going to go up 2. It's going to go up 2, 1, 2, and then over 1. And that's my answer. Okay. Now my second graph is this one here. Get my y-intercept. It's already 3, so let me write that down, okay? So for this one over here, my y-intercept is still 3. It crosses right there, same thing as the other one. And it looks like my point is over here. Again, it has to be a nice in between those two lines so it's easy to count, okay? So for this one, my changes looks like this is going 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is like a complete reverse of the first one, all right? Okay, number 3 is this one over here. My y-intercept is over here. Okay, so my y-intercept for that one is -3. And this is the point right there. Again, there's more. You don't really need to put any more. I'm just gonna use those two. Go from left to right. Looks like it's going up 2 over 1. So my slope for this one is up 2 over 1. Finally, the last one, they use the same y-intercept for that one. So my y-intercept for that one is 3. And for that one here, looks like it's a negative. As you can see, it's going down, all right? So I know right away, I know my answer has to be a negative. A lot of students always drop the negatives, okay? You don't want to do that, so it's gonna go down, all right? So you go from here to here. Looks like it's gonna go down. I could use a little marker for that one. Looks like it's gonna go down 2 over 1. Okay, so down 2 over 1. So my slope is a -2 over 1. It's like the complete opposite of the very last one. All right? Or the very first one, I mean. Any question on that one right there? Okay, you're going to do something similar to this one. Okay, let's move on to our example 3. Now for example 3, oops, sorry, let me go ahead and adjust this real fast. Okay, so for example 3, they're going to give you 2 points and then, or a table, and then they can ask you to find the slope. Okay, they're not gonna ask you to find a y-intercept, okay, just a slope. And just a reminder, it's the change in y and then the change over the change in x. Okay, so you're changing, like you go from one number to the other number. What is that change right there, okay? All right, so for this one, I like to focus on my x and y. All right, so look at the y first. So you're going from 8 to 10. Here, I'm gonna draw a little caret like this so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so you go from 8 to 10. So you go from $8 to $10. That's positive. So you don't have to write plus there, but just it's 2. So you're going from 8 to 10, so it's a positive 2. That is my change in y. We'll write down the answer in a second. And then let's do my change, my change in x. All right. So you're going from $5 to -$4. That's not good. That means you just lost a bunch of money. You had $5 and all of a sudden you have -4. So that's going down. All right, so that's negative. And it looks like you go from 5 to -4. That means it's 5 from 0 and another 4 more, so that's -9. All right, so my final answer, again, you have to write down your y first, which happens to be positive 2 over -9. You can always write it as a negative in the middle if you want to. I'll take both answers as the same. All right. Now you're wondering, wait a minute, what happens if I go from the first point to the second point? Students always get that confused. They're thinking they have to go from one to the other. This one you actually don't have to. I'm going to show you that you will get the exact same answer if you went from the second point to this point here. Okay. So 5 and 8. All right. So let's do it again. Okay. So you're going from 10 to 8. That is your change in y, okay? So you have $10 and then you go to $8, that's a -2. Then you go from negative $4 to $5 for my change in X. That's good. You owe $4, now you have 5. What's that change there? That's a plus 9. Okay, again, my change in Y is negative 2 over 9. That's the same answer as the one earlier. So again, you could go from any one to the other one, whichever point you want to do first, okay? So for number 2, we'll go quickly. I'm just gonna do my change in Y. You go from $4 to negative $2. That's not good. That's negative 6. And then you're going from negative 2 to 5, which is good. That is positive 7. So my slope is, again, negative 6 over 7. All right? Okay, let's go and do number 3. Again, my change in Y, 3 to 10, that's positive 7. That's good. And then finally, you're doing from negative 2 to 1. That's another positive, and that is good. That's also 3. So my slope for this one is equal to 7 over 3. All right. Okay, number 4. Again, you're going from 4 to a negative 4 to 4. That's a positive 8. And then you're going from 9 to 3. That's a negative 6. All right. So for this one, my slope is 8 over negative 6. We always need to reduce your slope. That gives my answer is negative 4 over 3. All right. All right, the last problem is a table. Now, when it's a table, when they give you a bunch of other points, you don't have to do all 4 of them. In fact, I wouldn't. I just pick 2. Any 2 will work. Okay. For this one, I'm just gonna ignore the last 2. I'm just gonna focus on the first 2. Again, same thing. So my change in Y, and then my change in X. All right, so let's take a look. This one looks like it's going from 0 to 2, which is positive 2. This one from 3 to 0, which is negative 3. So again, my Y comes first. So my answer for this one is 2 over negative 3. All right, there you go. Okay, my very last example is not actually a problem, okay? For this one here, number 31 on your assignment, I'm just gonna lead you to it. I want you to draw a graph that looks like this. So I want you to draw the exact same graph for number 31. Write down final percent, API score, or AP score, I'm sorry, I think it's AP. Take a look real fast. It is AP score, yes, okay? So that's the AP score and the final. I want you to redraw this on number 31. I'm leading you to it, okay? And then there's a bunch of tables, and you're supposed to plot it, all right? For the first one, you're supposed to plot 5. I'm gonna show you to plot 5. And so they want you to plot 5, comma, 97. So find 5, and then 97, make a dot like that. So you keep on doing that, so there's a bunch of dots on the graph. And then you're gonna draw something called line of best fit. Okay, so the line of best fit definition is on the same problem as 230. Okay, so there's a definition there. They just mean to draw a line that fits the scatter plot sort of like in the middle. Okay, and that will help you, you know, go ahead and answer the following questions like estimate what happens if you get 3 or something like that. All right, so that's what you can do for number 31. That's it. Please, you can pause, rewind. You can do whatever you like. Make sure you take good notes. And if you have any questions, email me and let me know, and I'm here to help you. All right, please show your work to get full credit. And that is it, and you have a great day.